Most hunters look at a double rifle and see a price tag. I look at it and see an insurance policy. Here is the cold, hard truth. When a Cape buffalo is stomping through the brush at 30 miles per hour, your sub-MOA groups do not matter. What matters is having 2 massive rounds ready to go, with 0 chance of a bolt jamming. At SHOT Show 2026, we saw some iron that proves the double rifle is far from dead. These aren't just wall hangers. These are the heavy hitters. Rank 5. The Sabatti Classic 92. Most hunters think owning a double rifle requires a second mortgage, or selling a kidney. The Sabatti Classic 92 destroys that myth. This is the working man's double, an Italian workhorse that gets you into the express rifle game without the 5-figure price tag. It feeds on the proven .45-70 government, or the European heavyweight 9.3 by 74R. Weighing in at roughly 7 pounds, it is light enough to carry all day in the thick stuff, but heavy enough to soak up some of that recoil. Under the hood, the Classic 92 features cold hammer-forged barrels made from chrome molybdenum steel. Here is why that matters. Most barrels are cut, but Sabatti hammers theirs to align the steel grain, which drastically increases barrel life and consistency when you are slinging heavy lead. But here is the deal breaker, and it is a big one. The base model comes with manual extractors, not automatic ejectors. If you are facing down a charging boar and you need a third shot, you have to manually pluck those hot shells out of the chambers before you can reload. I saw a guy at a hog hunt in Texas fumble this exact reload because his hands were slick with sweat. And let's just say he ended up climbing a tree faster than I thought humanly possible. The recoil is stiff. It kicks like a disgruntled mule if you're running hot loads, but the fiber optic sights snap to your eye instantly. This is a solid entry point, but if you want a rifle that does the reloading work for you, just wait until you see the engineering marvel at number 1. Rank 4. The Krieghoff Classic Big 5. I know the purists will hate this, but honestly, the traditional safety catch is obsolete. Sound off below if you trust this rig, because this rifle changes the rules of engagement. This beast feeds on the devastating 500 Nitro Express, a cartridge that does not just stop the threat, it erases it. Here is the genius behind the German engineering. It features the patented combi cocking device, which is vastly superior to a standard safety. Here is how it works. Instead of just blocking the trigger, this system keeps the hammers physically uncocked until you slide the tang forward right before you shoot. This means you can carry a round in the chamber with 0 risk of accidental discharge, even if you drop the rifle down a ravine. I knew a professional hunter in the Sealess Game Reserve who swore by this system after a client tripped and flagged him with a loaded muzzle. And nothing happened because the hammers were down. But here is the deal breaker, and it is annoying. To cock in this rifle requires significant thumb pressure, and if your hands are cold or wet, it feels like trying to push a brick through a keyhole. The recoil is not a sharp slap. It feels like a heavy shove from a linebacker, rocking you back on your heels without bruising your shoulder. It is safe. It is reliable. But if you have weak thumbs, look elsewhere. Rank 3. The Heym model 89B. We are entering the elite tier now. This isn't just a rifle, it is a tribute to the golden age of ivory hunters, but with German surgical precision. Most people think you need a vintage British rig to get this kind of balance, but they are wrong. This beast eats .470 Nitro Express for breakfast, a round capable of stopping a charging Daggerboy in his tracks. Under the hood, the Model 89B features shoe lump barrels made from Krupp steel. Here is why that matters. Instead of using a monoblock sleeve like cheaper mass-produced doubles, these barrels are one solid, uninterrupted cylinder of steel from breech to muzzle. This means the barrel integrity is absolute, handling the insane pressures of nitro cartridges without the risk of separation that plagues lesser guns. I saw a PH in the Zambezi Delta use one of these to back up a client on a buffalo hunt, and the second shot was so fast it sounded like a single report. But here is the deal breaker, and it drives hand loaders crazy. These rifles are strictly regulated for specific factory ammo, usually Hornady. If you try to feed it your custom hand loads without regulating the barrels yourself, your groups will open up to the size of a dinner plate at 50 yards. The recoil is heavy, but the stock geometry is so perfect that it feels like a firm shove rather than a punch to the face. The damage to your wallet is significant, but compared to the six-figure price of a London Best, it is a steal. Rank 2, the Merkel 140 AE. We are getting closer to the crown. This is the rifle you buy when you want German perfection, but you still want to look like you belong in the bush, not a museum. It feeds on the legendary 500 Nitro Express, a cartridge that hits with the authority of a freight train. Under the hood, the Merkel features the greener crossbolt locking system. Here is why that matters. Most actions just lock at the bottom, but this system drives a steel transverse bolt through the barrel extension, locking the barrels to the frame from the side. This creates a bank vault lockup that can handle the violent pressure of nitro rounds without shooting loose over time. I saw a guy in Zimbabwe use a Merkel to stop a charging lioness at 10 paces. And the action was still tight enough to shave with after 20 years of daily abuse. But here is the deal breaker, and it is frustrating. The action is stiff. I mean, really stiff. Out of the box, breaking this rifle open requires significant force, almost like you're trying to snap a pry bar. You have to work it hundreds of times before it becomes smooth. And until then, your reload speed suffers. The trigger breaks cleanly, snapping like a dried bone, but the recoil is significant. It does not sting, but it pushes you back with a slow, heavy momentum that will test your balance. The street price is high, but for a true double rifle that will outlast your grandchildren, it is worth every penny. This is a masterpiece, but the weapon at number 1 is in a league of its own. Rank 1, the John Rigby and Company Rising Bite. We have arrived at the summit. This isn't just a rifle, it is a crown jewel that shoots back. Most hunters will never even see one of these in real life, let alone fire one, because this is the holy grail of dangerous game rifles. It feeds on the cartridge that literally defines the sport, the 416 Rigby, or the bone-crushing 450 Rigby. Under the hood, this masterpiece features the legendary Rising Bite action. Here is why that matters. Standard double rifles lock with a bite at the bottom of the action, but the Rigby features a massive vertical bolt that rises up into a U-shaped steel loop extending from the barrels. This effectively sews the action shut, creating the strongest lockup ever designed for a break-action firearm. This design was lost to history for decades, until Rigby engineers had to reverse engineer their own archives to bring it back to life, because the original tooling was destroyed in World War II. I saw a vintage Rising Bite from 1910 that had been carried across 2 continents and 3 generations, and it's still locked up tighter than a bank vault door. But here is the deal breaker, and it is a heartbreaker. The price tag is not just high, it is astronomical. You are looking at the price of a luxury sports car, and the wait list is measured in years, not months, unless you have oil tycoon money. This is a dream, not a purchase. The recoil is a heavy, rolling thunder that pushes you back with authority, but the sheer weight of the gun soaks up the sharp bite, making it surprisingly manageable. This is the king of the jungle. There you have it. 5 double rifles that prove steel and wood still rule the dangerous game world. Whether you are on a budget with the Sabatti or burning cash with the Rigby, the mission remains the same: reliability. When something is hunting you, you do not want a jam, and you do not want excuses. You want 2 massive rounds and a rifle that will not fail when the adrenaline dumps. 1 for the charge and 1 for the insurance. Watch your 6. I am out.